guys, hold on here. Little rusty. Here I am. How's everybody doing tonight? Make sure you guys say hello. Hello, Isis. Hello, Aaron. Hello, guys. Guys, I am simultaneously streaming here. So, hello on Facebook, on my Facebook group. For those of you on the Facebook group, if I can't see you, jump on the Facebook page, Harmonia Tarot, so that I can see you. I can't see everybody's comments here. Okay. And then hello to my YouTube subscribers. Guys, it's so good to be back. Yes, I know I have been missing in action for over a month on this channel. I'm not going to be here long. It's all good. It's all good. I know I'm popping on here late. I had a long day. Believe it or not, I worked all day. All day. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for popping on. Hey, Vicky. So, as you guys have been well aware, I have been missing for over a month. I had gone to New Jersey to visit family and then stayed in Delaware and also visited my parents as well. And then I had to travel back via U-Haul with my best soul sister out there, Johanna, who came all the way out from North Carolina to travel with me so I wouldn't have to do this trip alone to get my stuff, because I have been almost here for over a year and a half in the UP. And I still had stuff in storage, believe it or not. And I was supposed to get it last year, but that didn't happen because we had this thing called a pandemic. And I had to go with the flow. So here's what happened. When I was planning this trip, because I'm such a project manager, I'm a planner, I had all of these, things on a checklist of how things were going to play out. I was going to be working because I work a day job as well. I was going to be with my family, and then I was going to prepare for my tarot workshop class that I was getting ready for. Hello, everyone. And also be able to do some readings. I wanted to do some readings on the live, on the go. And I thought that was going to be fun. And that's how it was going to play out. And I was like, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be great. And I will be honest, I was dreading this trip. I was absolutely dreading this trip. And it wasn't because I wasn't excited to see everybody. It was the exact opposite. I was nervous to see everyone. And I think the nervous thing was, I'm going back home. Am I going to have regrets? Am I going to miss it? Is it going to feel like I should stay? Did I make a mistake? All of these thoughts were coming up in my head, and my life has changed so much. Yes, I can see comments, but I cannot tell who you are on the Facebook group. But if you go to the Harmonia Tarot page and switch over, I can see you there. Okay. But so anyway, I was a little nervous, and I was also nervous for asking help from others, because I'm not a hop, skipping away near the airport. I knew I had to plan this accordingly, and I knew I had to ask for help. And hello, guess what? Trauma girl here. I don't ask for help. I'm independent. I am overly and hyperactive independent. I realize this. Hey, thanks, Lisa. Thanks. So I had some fears to get through and allow people to help me. Drive me to the airport, which was a huge deal to me, because they weren't asking for anything for driving me there. And then I had to take a bus, and then a bus from there I had to take a plane, and then from a plane I was home, and then I had to ask a friend to pick me up and stay with her, and then I stayed with my family. So what happened is I got there and I realized that all of my plans were unraveling to the T, right? Like, I was doing the whole day thing and trying to get, situated, but I was very overwhelmed with the amount of people that I had to see. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to see everybody. So I just wanted to focus on my family. And it became quite evident that I needed to spend time with my family, and it forced me to stay present and to slow down. So I had to give some stuff up, and I decided to give this channel up in a loving way to myself, because this is a big deal to me. But I also wanted to take the time to just be with my family and be prepared for the workshop. That was my brand spanking new workshop for Harmonia Tarot, the Tarot workshop, which everybody's doing great on. I just so much so much love for my students on there. They are a fantastic group of people, and I see a lot of them are on here tonight as well. So welcome. But I wanted to talk about this because I was also, when I got there, it didn't feel what I thought it was going to be, right? I thought I wasn't going to have, I was going to have these regrets and stuff, but it really didn't feel like home. It felt good visiting everybody. It felt good being with my family. I had to laugh a lot with my nieces who tried everything to convince me to come back home and why I had moved to such a desolate and isolation place, but it's really not. But in their way, it is, because I lived in such a city area, the suburbs. So anyway, Erin, I can see you. I can see you. I can see you on Facebook. You're on the right page. So anyway, when I had gone there and was just hanging out with my family, I started to create more space for doing stuff with me. Even I realized my mundane life of doing stuff during the day, I was not stepping out and being present. So I was going for like long walks during my lunch break. I was making sure I was outside. I just was observing everything because I've been so out of the loop. And, so many of the, with the pandemic, so much had changed. People all of a sudden were not wearing masks anymore. So it felt like I was in this really weird, surreal world because I didn't have that impact as much as you guys did out here. So I was kind of forced to see that in that level, and I had a completely different perception. But again, I wasn't controlling the situation. So I got a lot of closure out of that trip. And can you guys still hear me? Having some technical difficulties. All right, I think I'm back on. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Had a little bit of a blip there. I don't know what happened. Is it coming back? Okay, yeah, it's back. All right. Yeah, I could hear it. I could hear that I was out. I said, I'm not sure what happened there. So again, when I was planning, my friend came out to get to me and we went to go to the storage unit. And let me tell you, as soon as I opened that storage, I was purging more stuff because some of the stuff I thought I needed 2 years ago, I obviously didn't need. And wow, let me tell you, I have a realization there. If I ever do this again, which I'm crossing my fingers, I won't have to do a huge move like this again. That there's no need to hold on for things like stuff. Like, why am I holding on to stuff? I didn't need it for 2 years ago. Does anybody go through this stuff where it's like you need to have it and then you don't have it for a while and then you look at it and you're like, I don't need this. What was I doing? Why do I have this? Did anybody go through that? Because I went through that in a big way. So I was purging more stuff out there that I didn't even want to take in the U-Haul with me. And, and I also got a lot of enclosure as well. I spent a lot of time with my family. I spent a lot of time with my ex as well. Him and I are left off in good terms, but he helped me, was helping me move and everything. And, we didn't really have that closure when I moved into the storage unit. So having him help me move stuff out was this weird sense of closure of like us helping each other. And it was nice. It was just really nice. And it felt like we were friends again. I always say we were like the Demi and Bruce of relationships, where we saved our relationship by divorcing. We are very good friends. But it's just funny that it took that much time to grow, because we've been divorced for, I don't know, close to 3 years at this point. But it wasn't all sugarcoating on there, right? People grow. But him and I definitely have grown to realize that we own our own shit on both not getting along in that way, right? Not compromising and helping each other out now. So it was a really cool experience to have that. Is that your ex-husband's house too? Yeah, I mean, it's great if you can be in that level. It is possible to be friends with your ex. I do believe you can. It takes you to be an adult. It does. And it takes you to realize that you can't change a person and you have to accept them for who they are. That's unconditional. You can love a person, doesn't mean you have to be with them. I firmly believe that. So anyway, when I was ready to go, again, I was overly planning this trip because, I was doing a giant road trip with a U-Haul, and I've never drove a U-Haul in my life. And I was lucky that Johanna was coming with me. And of course, everything did not line up how it did, because I went to go get the U-Haul the night before, and they like canceled my order, and it was this complete freak out moment for me. And I'm panicking, I'm freaking out, and Johanna's trying to, help me and soothe me out and be like, oh, can I do this with this? And I just needed to freak out. I just needed to freak out. So she gave me that space to freak out. And I just remember it was so nice to be with somebody who gave me that space, but also understood when I told her I had to have a tantrum, because, growing up, if you had tantrums or act out, I was always considered to be too sensitive as a kid. So, all of that built-in tension of being too sensitive means you can't feel, right? So you're allowed to have feelings. So I was kind of forced to the fact of going through feelings. So I don't hold back when I have feelings. Now, there's an appropriate time to have those feelings, but at that point, I really needed it. But again, just shows you not everything goes with the fly. I had to trust, and we woke up early and we ended up going there to get the truck in a different way. And I had two people helping me get through that. And again, I had to trust. I had to sit there and trust others to help me get this truck in order. And then we have Johanna, who, she gets in the truck and she's wearing her favorite sunglasses, her absolute favorite sunglasses. And what does she do? She sits on them and breaks them. And so she's upset. She's freaking out. And I'm just going with the flow because I can understand why she was upset. And I'm going, shit, this is how we're starting the trip. This is how we're starting our road trip. We had so many plans to go live and do stuff, and it just didn't happen because when we got in the truck, guys, now two short girls driving a U-Haul, and there was no way to adjust the mirrors. So again, we were thinking, we can do this straight through. 23 hours, no big deal. We can just switch, we'll just keep flip-flopping, driving, no big deal. We'll sleep on the way. Well, that didn't happen. No, because we were too short and we had to trust each other to say, hey, is there a car coming over on our right? So here we got, if you ever want to have the trust fall, like that's what we were doing with the trust U-Haul, right? Having to trust each other. And then we were both like, I was too stubborn. We did switch. I drove all of Pennsylvania, and then she did 2 states, and then I did 2 other ones. But the best part is I went over to take over in Chicago, guys. And I'm talking about her like, because I'm a really good driver. I drive a lot in the city. I know Chicago well. And I just remember thinking, we'll get through Chicago, no problem. It's going to be 2:00 in the morning. There's going to be no traffic. It's going to be easy to get through, but I'll drive just in case there's any crazy drivers now, right? Just any crazy drivers. Well, let me tell you, not only was I driving this U-Haul in the middle and it was like 45 miles per hour, there were people going 110 or so miles per, very, very fast, flying through to the point where we were hysterically laughing and like scared out of our freaking minds at the same time. I do not know what people do in the middle of the night, Chicago, but apparently, I think because there's not bumper to bumper traffic, people just want to go joyriding in Chicago. So, I'm pretty sure I have trauma from that portion. But by the time we got to Wisconsin, I was like, let's just pull over and just take a cat nap. Has anyone ever tried to cat nap in a U-Haul? It's so uncomfortable. You can't recline the seats. Yeah, we should have just gotten a hotel. But again, 2 independent alpha women. Now, we don't need to do that. We got this shit. We'll be fine. So we went through. And yeah, so Johanna was only supposed to be here for a week. And it was kind of an eye-opening for me because even though it was the first time that I was having a visitor from out of town being in my home, I also had a lot of changes going on in my own house. I had a roommate who he was looking for a new place to live. He was helping me out with my pets for a month. That's what we agreed upon. And then he was going to, get his new place. Well, when I got in, everything kind of fell through, and he was still looking, but he knew he had to leave in July. So he had like 2 weeks. So he was, going through his things. And then I had my pets because I came home and I haven't seen my pets, which I have 6 cats and a dog. And I was hanging out with them because I was excited to see them. I haven't seen them in a month. It's the longest I've ever been away from my pets, the longest. And I had Johanna here for a week to show around the area, and we had an amazing time. And I had her, we did our photo shoot. I'm editing her book and also doing her book cover. So there's plenty of stories with that. But one of the things that I realized during that, because she was having a hurricane hit around her area, and she was basically forced to stay here another week, which was, again, unexpected. We were all forced to go with the flow. And meanwhile, my roommate is still trying to leave. And so we're packing as though he's leaving, and he's no place to go. We're like, all right, well, I guess things are going to have to work out. So we were forced to all go with the flow, all 3 of us. And again, I was aware of things around me and how my relationships have changed and how I have changed as a person to be aware of these things. And I had to laugh because by the time we were at the tail end, my roommate had found a place just as Johanna was about to leave. But then something happened again, unexpectedly. You're packing, you have no idea where you're going. That's what it is. You got to go with the flow sometimes. So while Johanna was leaving, I was petting my dog, Baxter, who's my Basset Hound. He's 8 years old. He's has glaucoma for about 5 years. He's only got one good eye. I lost another dog about 6 years ago, Milo, who also died of glaucoma. And I noticed Baxter wasn't looking at me. In fact, he loves his food and he wasn't looking at me. And I realized he lost his sight just as I was bringing Johanna to the airport. That sucked because I'm not hop skipping away. And I had to trust another person to stay with my dog and bring her to the airport and hold my shit together because my dog is my baby. And realize how and why this was happening. And I couldn't help but have specific moments of realization, right? I couldn't have realization of some of the things that happened. Now, when I lost Milo, Baxter's older brother, I was going through my divorce, and Brian had just moved out, and Milo went blind, and I was all on my own, and I had to go on a vacation. Tell me this shit. You couldn't make this shit up if you tried. Literally, the same thing happens with Baxter. Why am I getting this lesson again? So I had to sit here and think about what happened with that lesson, because the one thing that I had with Milo was we waited and kept him. My ex was not ready to let go of the dog. He will admit it. He absolutely admitted it, even with Baxter. And we kept it longer than he should have. And I remember the anger and the resentment and the upsetness I had over it, but also very upset with myself for doing that to my dog. Right. So I had this whole thing happen. And the other thing, part of it is when Brian and I, when he was leaving, when my ex was leaving, we weren't in the good terms, right? He just kind of went, and I didn't really help him. We didn't help each other because we were hurt. We were two hurt people. Now, it's obviously different. My roommate and I weren't dating or anything like that. He's my brother from another mother. But we were both hurting because he can't find a place. He's trying to find a place. He finds a place. And, I'm helping him move stuff out when he's not ready, that kind of shit, right? And I had to make the decision to help him. Like, I decided I wanted to help in any way I could, in a way that maybe I didn't agree with, but I would help him, different than what I did with Brian. So I was given this opportunity to do that. And I was also given the opportunity with Baxter to make it easier for this transition for him. So I actually had an appointment, a wellness checkup for him that Thursday, and I had to change it to put him down. And it sucked because when I did it, he made it through the sedation and he went on his own. And it was funny because I kept hearing that he was going to go naturally in some way, and I could not understand what that meant. But when that came up, and I kept hearing my mom say it, and I'm like, what does she mean naturally? It's going to happen naturally. He just went. He just went, and he was ready. And I was so upset. I was so upset. And I again was given the opportunity. A friend wanted to go with me. I said I wanted to do this on my own. I was only 5 minutes away from the vet. How hard could it be to drive on your own? No big deal, right? Yeah, longest 5 minutes of my life. I'm laughing about it now because I do believe animals have soul contracts. I do believe they leave just at the right time of your life. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, right, Aaron? When you lose, he says we were getting close to that with our cats. Yeah, but they hold a contract with you, right? They signed up for this just as much as you signed up for this. So when we're ready to face a new milestone, it's like something new is coming in. So when Milo passed away, if he didn't pass away, I sold that house and I had no place to live. And who's going to take in 2 dogs and 6 cats, right? I could not find a place to rent, nothing. And when he passed away, I was given an opportunity right outside of that from a dear friend who I hadn't talked to in a while, who took me in and all my pets temporarily, almost for a full year. Big deal. And I know if I wouldn't have been given that opportunity. So again, I know Baxter gave me an opportunity for something new to come into my life. And I've been through a lot of closure. And when I was going through this car ride, it's funny because I wasn't mourning my dog. I wasn't mourning my dog. What came up was anger and resentment and mourning of another person in my life who wasn't in here anymore. And I realized, even though this friendship ended almost close to a year ago, I did the first thing that any person with trauma does. They move forward and they don't digest things, right? Meaning they don't feel. I'm a workaholic. So I went straight to work and I said, okay, it is what it is. The person is doing what they do. It is what it is, or it is, as long as, they can do whatever. I never processed my anger. And in that 5 minutes home, I screamed bloody murder. Every vulgar thing you can imagine about this anger I had. And it doesn't even matter. The point is I got it out and I accepted it and I didn't feel shameful of it because I do truly accept myself in all pieces, even my dark side, even the place which blames another person. Do you ever feel that way? Because once I got it out and felt it, it was like, it was gone. And I realized so much of this was, because you go through the stages of grief, right? Grief and the loss. It's like friendship. The loss of a friendship is just as much as grief-stricken as a loss of a family member or a pet, especially if it's someone who is extremely close to you. And here's the thing. It wasn't the friendship. It was the story that had to end. The story, because it's just a story, guys. It's just a story we tell ourselves. So I had to go through that process and I was given that opportunity to do it. And if that didn't happen, if Baxter didn't die, I don't know if I would have had the opportunity to do that. It was, it really shows you when you allow yourself to feel, it does dissipate. It does go away. It doesn't go away to the point of feeling easier. It just feels better. And so I've really taken this in a completely different aspect of my life. And also I don't care what anyone says. I feel like I nailed this test. I'm like, this cycle ain't going to happen again. This cycle ain't going to happen again. You know, yeah, I'm going to lose things, but I really feel like I did things. I was given this opportunity to do things different with people in my life, how I treated them, how I reacted to them. Reaction's a big thing. Yeah, absolutely. They're in your life and then gone. It's like death. It is death. It is death. But if you don't face that and if you don't look at it, it's hard that, you know, especially when you have the same friend circles and you hear like stuff about it, it's hard to even hear that, right? You don't even want to digest that level. But I really accepted it, and I accept their lessons because it was a lesson. I do believe we both grew from it. I know I did. I can't speak for him, but I definitely grew from it. And I will always cherish the fact of how much I have grown from that relationship. And I wouldn't have friendships. We had the same friendship circle. I would have met those people through him. So it's a big deal. So yeah, I love him for that. Absolutely. But I don't love the stories that went with it because it was heartbreaking. It sucked. It sucked. But so now I am getting used to the routine of not having a pet. A dog specifically. I have 6 cats, like I said, and I never really digested the fact of being a crazy cat lady because I always had a dog to kind of be like, no, I got a dog too. I'm not biased. But now I just have cats, so I'm kind of looking around like I don't have a dog. And dogs are different. You know, cats are self-sufficient. They can do stuff. I do have a cat that's kind of like a cog. I call him a cat dog. Friskers. You've probably seen him in some of my videos, but like they're different. You have like certain routines with a dog, right? Like I'm used to waking up at a specific time. Like this is how crazy it is. I used to stay in bed because I could not sleep all the time with Baxter because I'm allergic to him. So he slept downstairs. But if he heard me upstairs moving, if he heard me moving at any time of the night, just like a child, he would start whimpering. So if I had to go to the bathroom or anything, I would just hold it. I'd be like, no. And I remember yesterday waking up and I had to go to the bathroom. I had to pee. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to pee. I'll just hold it. And then I was like, I don't have to hold it. I don't have to hold it. What am I doing? I could just walk around my house now. But I miss the pitter patter of his feet. I miss he was a little stinky dog. Bassets have a very specific smell to them. And he was my stinky dog and I miss him. I miss him a lot. I had to rehome my Danes. First time I had ever not had a dog my whole life. It's so hard. It's so hard. And I'm lucky I have a friend who has a Great Dane and her name's actually Dana and I'm obsessed with her. And she's like my surrogate dog right now. So I'll just go visit her. and my neighbor has a beautiful dog as well, who I play fetch with. So I am just taking the time to adjust to it. I'm not jumping into anything. You know, I want to be able to travel and do some things as well. I know I have a lot of late bloomer friends here. I'm excited for the Salem trip that most of us are doing in October. So I will be going out on there. But so yeah, so there's a lot of things that I want to do. And again, I'm just taking the benefit that Baxter created this space for me so that I could heal. And obviously I need some healing to do. The other thing that I wanted to talk about were my readings because I haven't been doing any. As you can see, I took that break. I have been hard at work for the July readings. They are uploading. Guys, give me time. I know that they are 5 days late, but I have a new phone and this new phone is I guess because it's HD now, so it's taking a lot longer to process. So I got to find a better way to process these videos so that I can upload them much quicker because it's taking forever and I'm still trying to figure out this new phone. Yeah. And I also, like I said, I have my tarot workshop. Everybody is doing great. I'm hoping to have them on once we complete it, probably in the closer to August. If they're willing to come onto the tarot channel, I think it will be fun. But we'll see how everything is. And it's just going great. I'm having a lot of fun with that. Never did I think, guys, in a million years that I would be teaching tarot. What is happening? Aaron says, dogs, you take me out, you feed me, you give me water, and you clean up for you. You must be a god. Cats, you let me out, you feed me, you give me water, you empty my litter. I must be a god. It is cat. That's why I relate to a cat, because I feel like that's me. Can't you just do them live and post them? Pretend you don't see the comments. I could do them live and post them quicker, but I like to do them on there just because in case I have hiccups in between. Yes, sometimes I have technical difficulties and stuff like that. So I just like to do it just so I don't have any of that, because there's blips and stuff. And I don't like to do readings like that on the fly, but I'm going to be doing more live readings. Probably the tune-ins are going to change into lives. I like to also do readings super early in the morning. It's when I'm fresh on doing that for my channel readings. I mean, not going live. So I also have to pay attention to things called algorithm, right? When people are on, most people are on it late at night. And I have a lot of people who are international. You are a wonderful teacher, even though I'm not in the class. Isis talks about how much she enjoys. Aw. Tarot is a whole new experience. And that's what I'm having fun with it, because I'm doing a different way of teaching this. What time early? You know, and I've been a teacher for years, guys. I've taught many different things. I mean, tarot, like I said, I never thought in a million years I would be teaching tarot. But I was a photographer for 15 plus years. I still am. I'm actually getting back into photography again up here, a little bit different style than when I used to be. I can't believe it's been 10 years, actually, yeah, over 10 years since I've done wedding photography. But I was a portrait photographer for way longer, and I've been out of that for 3 years. I've been retired from photography, so now I'm going back into that as well. I wear many hats, but I used to teach photography as well, and I train other things, and I was a book reviewer, and yeah, so I love teaching. Teaching has always been something that I love to do. I just like to do it on my time, and what I'm passionate about. I was probably more of a professor than I am a classroom kind of teacher. But yes, the readings are coming, guys. And like I said, I will be back on schedule this week. I'm starting off. I feel bad because I usually start off with a sign for the birthday month. So obviously I missed June. I'm starting with Cancer this month, but I will go back and at least do a bonus reading for the others. Okay. And I didn't say I wasn't up then. We're just reading everybody's comments here. I'm sorry. They're coming so quickly because I have so many feeds going on here. Yeah, look at that. And the other thing I want to tell you guys, I mean, it really was just to come on here to tell you about the experience of where I've been and where this channel's going. Yes, I will still be doing tarot personal readings will be coming in place, guys. I am going to be doing they're going to be mini readings, so you can sign up for the mini readings. They will most likely be a short live. I'm probably scheduling that towards the end of the month. I will be having my spotlight this week. We were supposed to have it last week, but obviously that didn't happen. So we have Silver Wolf on this Thursday. Very excited to have Silver on. Actually, Johanna and I interviewed Silver back during the breakdown show when she was describing what exorcisms and so forth are. But we're going to be talking and chatting on Thursday. So we look forward to seeing you guys there. And you know, I will be back live on Thursday with Silver, and we'll be chatting on there. And like I said, I'm going to get the July readings up this week. They are coming, I promise. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. Holy. Much love to you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks again. Much appreciation. Love you all. Take care.